Hello dear viewers, welcome back again in Glittering Biology with your Bio Guru Alok. Hope you all are just paying attention towards the studies through these lectures and preparing your notes according to the revised syllabus provided by the council. So, in the continuation series of lectures, the topic or the chapter which we were just discussing in last week, that was the digestion and absorption. Under this chapter we were started about the digestion mechanism, means the chemical digestion in the different parts of the alimentary canal, and till the previous lecture we have completed up to the digestion in stomach. For a short revision, I would like to tell you about the principal digestive enzymes up to the stomach, which are just playing an important role over there. So one by one we will just talk about the enzymes. The first enzyme, which one was just secreted by the salivary glands, that one is the salivary alpha amylase, or it is just known as the ptyalin. And the substrate on which it is acting, that one is the starch, and it converts that starch into the maltose. Second, in the stomach we discussed about the three main enzymes, in which there is the pepsin, which is working on the proteins. The second one is the renin, which works on the milk protein casein, and gastric lipase, they are just working on the triglycerides. Today we will just talk about the digestion in small intestine. This digestion is related with the chemical digestion. Here mechanical digestion, how it is just maintained by the that small intestine. Movements generated by the muscular layer of small intestine help in the churning the food. Through mixing up of the food and the digestive juices is carried out the pendular and the segmental movement in the intestinal wall. Here earlier you have just heard about the word chyme. It is what? The chyme is a thick acidic mixture of the gastric juice and the semi digested food which is about to enter intestine. The alkaline digested and fine paste of food in the intestine is called as the chyle. Just it is a very slight difference between these two words. One is the chyme and another is the chyle. The material which one is available in the intestine, that one will be called as the chyle, and the material which one has been prepared with the acidic medium in the stomach region, that one is just called as the chyme. What is under the chemical digestion we will need to talk about? Whenever the food in the small intestine comes, it mixes with the three digestive fluids, namely bile, pancreatic juice, and the intestinal juice. Bile is the first one, in which we need to talk about the special activities, that it is working for the following activities. First of all, the bile neutralizes the HCl of chyme by its sodium carbonate salt, and makes it alkaline by increasing the pH at 8 to 8.6. Next, it emulsifies fats, means break down the fat molecule into very small micelles by making a film around them. It activates pancreatic and the intestinal lipase, and it also helps in the absorption of the digested fat and the fat soluble vitamin. What about the bile? Actually, the liver produces and secretes 250 to 1500 ml of bile per day. That is the main function of the liver, which one is producing this juice. The major constituents of the bile are the bile pigment, which you have heard about, the bilirubin, bile salt, phospholipid, cholesterol, and inorganic ions. Here the bile is alkaline, viscous, little bit yellowish to little green in color, whose pH is varies from 8 to 8.6, means it is alkaline, that's why the pH is 8 to 8.6. Actually in the bile juice there is no digestive enzyme. Presence of bile in the small intestine is also necessary. What it is? For the absorption of fat soluble vitamins like A, D, E and K. A, D, E and K. These are the fat soluble vitamins. Bile pigment or the bilirubin is produced in the spleen, liver and bone marrow by the breakdown of the hemoglobin. Bile acids are derivatives of the cholesterol that have 2 to 4 polar groups on each molecule. Here, this bile in the small intestine is necessary for the absorption of the fat soluble vitamins like vitamin A, D, vitamin E and K. If a person's gallbladder is removed, the digestion of fat is affected. Acidity may continue in the duodenum. Several times you have heard about the condition whenever the person got the kidney stones in the gallbladder and doctor suggests them to remove that gallbladder permanently. So in that case what it is, it will affect the digestion of that person because the acidity, which one is neutralized by the particular salt, sodium carbonate in the bile juice, that one will be that one will not be considered over there. Now next one is the pancreatic juice. Whenever we will just talk about the pancreatic juice, secreted by the exocrine pancreatic acini, it is a complete digestive juice. It takes part in the digestion of the proteins, carbohydrates and the fats. It is colorless, watery fluid, slightly alkaline. Its pH is from 7.5 to 8.5 due to the presence of sodium bicarbonate secreted by the pancreatic duct. Daily secretion of pancreatic juice in man is the 1.2 to 1.5 liter. In pancreatic juice, alpha amylase is a starch splitting enzyme similar to the ptyalin, and it hydrolyzes starch and glycogen to disaccharide maltose, the trisaccharide maltotriose and alpha dextrins. Means glycogen and disaccharides maltose are just broken down into the trisaccharide maltotriose and the alpha dextrin. Trypsin and the chymotrypsin are proteolytic endopeptidases. They are initially inactive. Trypsinogen and chymotrypsinogen. Here few contents are especially highlighted in the second line, like the proteinases, in which that enzyme, that substrates are given: pancreatic amylase, pancreatic lipase, or DNase and RNase. DNA and RNase are the particular substances which are just helpful in the breakdown of the DNA and RNA of cells. Now next it is the intestinal juice or the succor entericus. Succor entericus or intestinal juice, what it is? Intestinal juice or succus entericus, that is mainly secreted by the crypts of liberculin. They are particular, showing the clear yellow fluid with slightly alkaline nature, pH of 7.6, contains water, mucus and enzymes that complete the digestion of carbohydrates, proteins, fats and the nucleic acid. Daily secretion of intestinal juice in man is about 2 to 3 liter. Then later on, here it is the flow chart, how it is taking place: digestion of carbohydrates in duodenum, pancreatic amylase or the amylopsin catalyzes the hydrolysis of remaining starch into the disaccharides. Then in ileum, the maltose, isomaltose sucrose, lactose and alpha dextrins are just being converted into the glucose, fructose or galactose. Then on the next page 16.21, you can just see there how the digestion of proteins takes place by the pancreatic juice in the duodenum. Here trypsinogen is the proenzyme which is just working with the as a substrate in the presence of enterokinase or the enteropeptidase, converting into the active enzyme trypsin. Means trypsinogen, what it is an inactive enzyme or the proenzyme which one comes in the contact of the enterokinase, then it converts into the trypsin, and then that trypsin is playing a role for the breakdown of proteins into the polypeptides. Chymotrypsinogen, it again acting as a proenzyme, and they are just making the chymotrypsin which will act as a enzyme during along with the proteins and making the polypeptides over there. Then procarboxypeptidases are activated by the trypsin to carboxypeptidase. These enzymes act on the free terminal carboxylic group of peptides and remove single amino acids from the C terminus of the polypeptide chain. Later it is given about the intestinal juice in the ileum. Ileum is the part of the small intestine. So dipeptidases and the aminopeptidases, the function of these two are given there. Peptides, whenever aminopeptidases are acting on that one, then they are just converting them into the amino acids and the dipeptides. Then later the digestion of fibrous animal proteins, it is in the box, it is given. So look that one. Most vertebrates are unable to digest certain fibers animal protein like the keratin of hair, skin, nails and the hooks, silk, fibrin and wool protein. In carnivorous animals, these fibers accumulate in the intestine causing its occultation. Some insects can digest such fibrous proteins and destroy silk fabrics and woolen garments. They are just having converting elastin into the peptide. They are a special type of insects which one is having such capacity. Same manner as you have heard about the vermiform appendix in the human being, you can just consider that one. Vermiform appendix, it is considered as a vestigial organ in human beings, but it is active part, it is playing an active part in the digestion of different herbivorous animals, where it is just digesting cellulose over there. Next it is given about the digestion of fats in duodenum, where the duodenum, how the pancreatic lipase hydrolyzes the fat and lipids into the glycerol, fatty acids, diglycerides and the monoglycerides. Here you can just see triglycerides plus water, whenever comes into the contact of lipase, it is just making the diglycerides plus fatty acids. These diglycerides again comes in the along with the water, comes in the contact of lipase, converting it into the monoglycerides and the fatty acids, then making it more simpler into the fatty acid or glycerol. Later digestion of the nucleic acid, earlier as I told you that DNA is and RNA is, that one is the two specific, just helpful into the breakdown of that DNA, whenever comes into the contact of DNAs, then it forms the deoxyribonucleotides. Same manner RNA, whenever comes in the contact of the RNAs, then ribonucleotides are formed over there. In ileum, nucleotidase and the nucleosidase act on the nucleotides and the nucleosides respectively, and making it in the simplest form, where the nucleotides will convert it into the nitrogenous bases plus pentose, and nucleosides are just having the nucleoside converting it into the hexose sugars plus phosphate. So that is about the entire digestion of small intestine. Digestion of all major nutrients of food is completed in the small intestine. The end products of the carbohydrate digestion are the monosaccharides. The end products for the protein digestion are the amino acids, and same manner the fatty acid and glycerol are the end products of the fat digestion. These the end products of the nucleic acid digestion are the nitrogenous bases, pentose sugar, and the phosphoric acid. Later, the role of large intestine, it is given here. So in that one, what we need to talk about, the chyle entering the large intestine consisting about the 75% of water, some proteinaceous substances along with the carbohydrate residues. Here there is a no digestion of the food material in the large intestine, broadly we can say, but few important work are also performed over there, that as the waste material moves through the colon, it it absorbs the water over there. Symbiotic bacteria, like you have heard about the Escherichia coli and the Streptococcus faecalis, residing the interior part of the colon, feed on the protein contents of the chyle, breaking them into the amino acids which are into the blood. Colon bacteria also synthesize vitamin B and K. Underline this one. They convert bile pigment into the brown pigment, and that gives color of the fecus. So here it is given, intestinal bacteria sometimes produce foul smelling compounds and gases which gives characteristic odor to the fecus and intestinal gases. Antibiotics often kill symbiotic bacteria, showing other microbes to grow. This causes dysentery. So what are the symbiotic bacteria present in the human beings? That one is the particular Escherichia coli, as well as sometimes Streptococcus faecalis. These are the two. Next, on the next page, it is given on 16.24, summary of the digestion of different nutrients at the glance. So for making more clear view about the what product is converted in which region, what substance, that is clearly studied through this chart onwards, and later on it is just having hormonal and neural control on release of digestive juice. So beside that, all chemical activities, nervous system, mechanical activities, as well as the hormonal activities are also playing a little bit role in the digestion of food material. Stimuli, secretion of saliva, secretion of gastric juice, whenever they are just secreted at the right time, means the reflex action, while there is a requirement, reflex action whenever it is required, then only they secreted in the sufficient quantity and provides the better result for their digestion. That's it for today. Hope you are understanding the content and preparing your notes. Thank you, everyone.